The Deep Panuke was a jack-up offshore production facility, and it produced sour gas from the Deep Panuke facility, about 30 kilometers from Sable Island.
Well, there's a number of challenges when decommissioning a structure like this. First of all is, of course, making sure that the people working on it can do so in a safe and secure and a healthy manner. But secondly, there's a considerable waste stream coming from a project like this that needs to be dealt with in a responsible manner.
In 2018, we kicked off the decommissioning campaign. The first part of that campaign was to remove the oil and gas products that were located within the facility. And then next was really preparing the facility to move to an inshore phase, ensuring it's in a safe state. There was facilities and the capability in Nova Scotia to do a responsible recycle, ensuring that hazardous materials that were generated in Canada from Canadian oil and gas activities stayed in Canada.
So I think more and more companies like SBM Offshore also realizing that apart from avoiding damage to the environment, there's an increasing sense of what can we do to give back to those places that basically also have given to us during the life cycle of their project. And then the fact that you involve the people from the indigenous community to have a role to basically in the production of this type of solution adds even to that positive contribution.
This site was selected based on numerous criteria. One of the biggest criteria was the water depth. There's significant water depth in the Sheet Harbour area, which allowed the tow right to the quayside without having to do any dredging in the harbour area. We jacked the facility up, and then they had to infill with 250,000 tons of local supplied Sheet Harbour rock. That'd give us basically the recycle yard itself. And then we followed up with the placement of a concrete pad, an impermeable barrier, to ensure that we had a facility that everything that got recycled could go on that impermeable pad for full collection and management of any hazardous materials and things like that. The concrete pad does contain a drainage system, so it's sloped so that any product that may touch the impermeable surface, the concrete surface, goes into the drainage system for separation, ensuring that there's no contamination of soils on or around the recycle area, and ensuring environmental protection and treatment if there was any spills to ensure that nothing gets into the Sheet Harbour body of water. First significant piece of the Deep Panuke facility that was removed was the flare tower. The team did an engineered drop, which means they basically designed the cuts into the flare tower structure and designed it to fall in a certain manner, and it fell exactly in the location where it was to fall. And the second piece, which is where we're at today, is the hazmat removal. So before we start the recycle of the actual oil and gas containing components, all the hazardous materials that were identified as being on the unit have to be removed. So right now the campaign is removing all fluids that could or maybe in pipes, removing things like batteries and lights that could contain hazardous materials, and really ensuring that the facility is in a safe state and is ready for the equipment to start the next phase, which is really the structural dismantle of the Deep Panuke facility. I think this is a great project for Nova Scotia. SBM, utilized the local workforce and maximized local benefits on Deep Panuke through the whole life. It's providing a new infrastructure to leverage new sustainable industries within Nova Scotia.